When a man feels the air shift in his home, when conversations grow shorter, eyes avoid meeting, and answers become rehearsed, he knows something deeper is being hidden. Truth in relationships rarely disappears all at once. It fades behind layers of politeness, excuses, and nervous calm. You can't force truth with anger or demand. You reveal it with understanding, timing, and precise questions. There are questions that disarm defense, questions that bypass performance, and questions that reach the mind of a woman trying to protect her secret. When asked with calm authority and emotional steadiness, these questions expose dishonesty faster than confrontation ever could. This isn't about manipulation, it's about clarity, about watching how her mind reacts when it can no longer hide behind practiced stories. These are the psychological ways questions uncover truth. The first is the question of timing. Ask her gently, "What were you doing around that time again?" Most people, when they're honest, recall events fluidly. Their minds don't need to defend details. But a woman hiding something will hesitate. Her words might start too fast or too slow. She'll either rush to fill the silence or pause to build a believable timeline. Watch her eyes, not an accusation but an observation. Truth doesn't need rehearsal, it remembers itself. Lies, however, always arrive late, wearing the wrong emotions. She might smile at the wrong time, laugh nervously, or look away when clarity should come easily. That first question doesn't accuse, it tests memory under pressure. And real memory flows, while fabrication stumbles. The second question is the question of emotion. You say, "Did you miss me while you were gone?" An honest heart answers with feeling before logic. It smiles, softens, recalls warmth. But a woman who carries guilt calculates before responding. She'll overcompensate, saying too much or too little, trying to sound natural while fighting her inner discomfort. This question bypasses logic and reaches emotional truth. If she's hiding betrayal, she will overperform affection or detach completely. Both extremes reveal inner conflict. Guilt always tries to control tone, but sincerity never has to. The third is the question of perspective. Ask, "Would you tell me if you were ever unhappy with me?" It's a mirror that forces her to confront honesty without defense. A loyal partner answers with reassurance or openness, but a guilty one often grows defensive or overly philosophical. She'll turn the question around saying things like, "Why would you even ask that?" Or, "You're overthinking again." This reaction doesn't come from innocence. It comes from fear that the conversation is moving too close to truth. She won't discuss emotions because emotions are where the lie lives. Her resistance to openness exposes more than her words could ever hide. The fourth is the question of connection. Ask softly, "Do you ever think we've grown distant lately?" It sounds harmless, almost tender, but it tests emotional awareness. A woman hiding something will sense the danger instantly. She'll either deny it too quickly or shift the blame, saying you've been distant, not her. A faithful woman hears the question and seeks repair. A guilty woman hears it as a warning. Her first instinct will tell you everything. Does she draw closer, or does she retreat? People protecting a lie cannot risk vulnerability. They hide behind irritation, distraction, or sudden fatigue. Her avoidance becomes the answer. The fifth is the question of trust. Ask her, "Is there anything you feel you can't tell me lately?" That question reaches beyond her story. It reaches her conscience. You'll notice her body respond before her mouth does. The shoulders stiffen, the breath shortens, the gaze shifts. Truth doesn't fear transparency, but guilt does. She may brush it off, make a joke, or change the subject entirely. But deep down, she heard it, and her mind starts wrestling with it long after the conversation ends. You've planted a question she can't ignore. When spoken with calm sincerity, this question quietly dismantles her inner peace until honesty becomes her only way to regain balance. The sixth is the question of reassurance. Ask her, "Do you still feel safe with me?" It's not about physical safety, it's about emotional honesty. A woman protecting secrets begins to feel unsafe in truth. This question doesn't accuse, it awakens awareness. She knows what she's doing, and hearing such tenderness exposes the moral gap between her actions and your care. Guilt thrives in opposition. It cannot coexist with gentle love. She may tear up, grow quiet, or attempt to divert the conversation. But her silence is an answer. A woman who's hiding betrayal struggles to stay comfortable in the presence of kindness. This question pierces deeper than suspicion ever could. It makes her face herself. And finally, the seventh question. Do you believe people can rebuild trust after mistakes? It's the question that feels philosophical but carries weight. A woman carrying guilt hears this as a direct message. She knows you're not asking about people, you're asking about her. If she answers thoughtfully, taking ownership of choices and acknowledging pain, it means honesty might still live within her. But if she answers vaguely, avoids eye contact, or rushes to moralize about forgiveness without accountability, it means she's trying to escape the moral confrontation that truth demands. This single question often reveals the entire psychology of her situation, because it forces her to reconcile her ideals with her behavior. Dr. Alina Rose teaches that real interrogation isn't about pressure, it's about presence. You don't extract truth by shouting. You reveal it by silence, timing, and emotional control. A woman who has nothing to hide will open up under calmness. A woman who carries deception will drown in her own guilt when peace surrounds her. Each of these questions is designed not to accuse, but to awaken. They bypass the mind's defenses and speak directly to the conscience, because the human conscience cannot stay silent forever. It trembles under truth's gravity. If you use these questions with stillness, she'll either grow closer or pull away, but both reactions will tell you everything you need to know. You're not searching for confessions, you're reading alignment between word, tone, and emotion. The truth isn't in what she says, it's in how she holds the silence after answering. When her story and her spirit don't match, the lie becomes visible. In the end, every man must remember, power doesn't come from knowing every detail, it comes from mastering his peace. The calm man doesn't chase truth, he lets it reveal itself. So ask wisely, listen quietly, and watch completely. Her answers will speak, but her soul will shout.